Nah, 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 nah. Never give up on yourself, 'cause there is no one else to ever be the way you are. Never give up on your dreams, that you will be that person you always wanted to be. And this life is worth living in the way that you want to live. You gotta just believe. Never give in to your fears when they keep telling you can't do what you were born to do.
Hello and welcome to Smile and Spread a Little Joy. I'm Debra, known as the Smile Lady. And SMILE is an acronym. And the S is for support. This is the S in sign language, support, because it takes a whole village to raise just one child. The M is for motivate, and we're talking, in this case, enthusiasm. What's that inner motivation that makes you smile and for you to share? Once you figure that out, invest. How are you using that gift to give back to the community? That is our purpose, to leave this place better than we found it. Then the L is love. I'm talking agape. I'm talking about even love the unlovable. And you need to really love what you do to share. People can tell if you love what you do. Then the E is educate. The E, educate. The L, love, right? Now, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Just think about what you were doing when you were younger, 5, 6, 7 years old. You're probably still doing that. That's probably what your passion is. Were you drawing? Were you building Legos? Were you tearing up radios? Were you talking on the phone? You're going to be a communicator? Were you putting on plays? Just look at your children now and your grandchildren and see what they were doing by 6 years old. That purpose shows up. I personally don't feel a child should go to school until the 1st grade. Kindergarten is not mandatory, but everybody can't afford that, because you get a chance to see your child before they're influenced by others, what they're supposed to do, and you can guide and direct that. But as you know, I have no one on this show that doesn't have a smile to share. Everybody, I just say, look, don't send them to me unless there's a smile. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You could be an ex-con, you could be a drug addict, you could be an ex-gang member, you could be whatever. But the advice that you leave is how to leave this place better and how you changed and what motivated you to change. And that will help somebody else, especially a child. So today, art is from the heart. If you look at the word heart, art is right in there. I spell it H-E-A-R-T. And the theme of this year's parade under Gerald Freeney is about art and music and how that's the universal language. And who I have on today, oh my goodness, Gary Lett. He is an artist extraordinaire, and I don't know how to say this word, sculptor?
Yes.
Sculptor, artist. He has a beautiful wife and family, and he's going to share his smile and give you information on how to get in contact with him. He's an art teacher, he's a father, he's a mentor, everything. So, Gary, it is my honor.
Bless you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, and your lovely wife for coming down. And you know the question I'm going to ask you is what I know the answer, because that's why you're in this seat smiling, but I want you to tell people what you love doing so much. You would do it even if you did not get paid.
Well, I brought samples today.
Yes.
It's art.
Art.
Yeah.
From the time you were little, did you?
Yes, it's amazing that you mentioned the age 5 years old, because before I went to kindergarten, I drew a self-portrait.
Ah, see? See, people?
So you are absolutely correct.
And typically, unless the family is overwhelmed or whatever, you don't recognize that art. And that's why I tell parents, look, you need to pay attention. He's going to go on. You need to pay attention to what your children are doing and guide them in what they do. Don't guide them to the test. Guide them to their gift. All right? So you can go ahead again too. So at 5, so you love art
Love
then,
it,
right?
love it. I was just talking about that in the green room. And I said my first passion has always been art, but I had to kind of back up because my wife was sitting right next to me. So I had to say, well, she became number 1 passion, art number 2.
You know what? I got to correct you. I think you're going to always be number 2. I got to correct that. You know, I know he's not going to tell you, but usually that is what she fell in love with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
That is your first love, and I know she is because I know you shared a story with me about she was with you and you were all into the art and she kind of left. Oh, tell that story.
You want me to tell that again?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I love that story.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, go ahead and share it because I love her. I love your wife.
Anyway,
she is so beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you. My wife name is Leisha. We've been married now for over 38 years.
Oh, she got to come on. We got to do a couples one now.
Oh, we do?
Yes, over 30
Lord.
years. That is an anomaly. Oh, Lord have mercy. Usually it's 15 minutes or 3 weeks and 10 years.
38 years. We dated for 2, so rightfully it's going to put us at like 41.
41 years.
Yeah,
So
together.
that story about her and
Well,
your art.
I had a little bachelor suite, and she was over visiting, and I was there painting, and she was kind of sitting there, and I thought, well, she's very patient. So I was all into the art, and next thing I look around, and she was gone.
I love this story. I love it.
So-
You can tell me this every time.
So of course I had to go and look and see, where did this young lady go? She was walking home. So I got up to her and I said, what's wrong? Where are you going? She said, well, you're not paying any attention to me. I said, well, look here. I said, you are my source of motivation and inspiration.
Oh, good answer.
And she came on back to the apartment.
Oh, good answer. You got a good one here, number 1. And number 2, I admire you for saying, okay, look, it's either me. But one thing I know, it's good to have a man with a passion and a love. And if you have to be second to the art and him telling you that you're the motivation for his art, girl, that's a compliment.
Amen.
That is a compliment. Because I truly believe, truly, your passion, what you were born with, is number 1.
Yes.
And if she motivates you to do that and supports you in that, you 3 become 1.
Yes. Yes.
So when she married you, she married your art, your
did.
baby.
She did.
It's almost like a man coming in marrying a woman with a child, and you have to take on that child and adopt it. She took on your baby.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that. You are just saying some things that are resonating big time because along with my wife came her siblings. And that's a story unto itself. Matter of fact, there was a movie that James Earl Jones starred in years ago where he was a garbage man.
Oh, Claudine.
Claudine.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
That's my wife's.
I watched that.
Yes, that's our story, but I wasn't a garbage man. But I was the artist. But along with her came her siblings. And we were.
She's the oldest?
She is. And we were both
My
in
family
our
was like
early
that.
20s. And
Oh, wow.
she carried that responsibility. And then with her, they came. And so it's been this number of years, but it's wonderful.
So she took on your baby, your art, and she had to deal with that, and then that's what really, shoot, if we have time, it's going to be both of y'all because that is something that we need to encourage young people, that it's a compromise, it's a sacrifice. You just can't, I'm going to do what I want to do, I've been single all this time. No, when you get together, you have to work together.
Yes.
And compromise and give up some of the things that you may like.
Right.
And then, pick up some other things. But then eventually you start liking things that you say, oh, wow, I kind of like this. And, oh, wow. And then sometime I go to something, if I see it makes my partner happy, even though I don't like it, I like the fact that I see they're happy.
Yes.
So that's my joy. That
Yes.
ain't like looking at football or something like that. Ugh. You know, but that's the thing. We got to recognize. Oh yeah, you got to do a part 2 on on that
All right,
marriage
part
thing.
2.
Now, so your support system, I know, is your wife.
Yes.
And who else did you want to mention as far as teachers or your support system?
Wow. Well, I have to go back to my high school art teacher,
name?
Mr. Finch.
Mr.
I used to call him Mr. French, you know, but he kind of got a kick out of that. I was kind of a militant. The Black Panthers had kind of phased out a little bit, but I was
You
very.
used to wear this.
Your little afro. I still got a little something going on, but I'm losing
You cut it low. You cut it low,
Yeah.
and then because I know when you had a big
Yes.
afro. Okay.
And so, but he really motivated me. I was painting pictures of Angela Davis, Huey Newton, Bobby Seals, and one day he approached me and he said, Gary, you're a fabulous artist, but your subject matter is really offensive to some of the other students. And he said, I would appreciate if you did not draw people holding guns and things like that in the classroom. I said, well, you know what? I'll do it at home. And you know what? He let me take art material home to continue my passion.
Wow.
And I was involved in an Upward Bound program, and I was selected out of maybe 50 kids. 2 of us were chosen to go to San Francisco to represent the organization.
Wow.
So when I came back, I knew nothing about this, but I was actually in the art room, and I got a summons to go to the office. So there was a woman on the phone by the name of Mrs. Baker, and she was from Pepperdine University in Los Angeles. And she said, Gary Lett? I said, yes. She said, well, I'm happy to inform you that you are a recipient of an art scholarship.
Wow.
And I said, I know nothing about that. She said, well, your art teacher, Mr. Finch, submitted your work. So while I was up in San Francisco at this conference, he submitted my artwork for this scholarship. And without him telling me, Gary, that there's more to life than being a Panther or a militant, but there's all forms of people. And he flipped me, the script of my mind without even having to sit me down and talk. Just his actions let me know that there are loving people. I must admit, he was Caucasian.
And is he still living?
No, he's deceased.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, look in that camera and thank Mr. Finch.
Well, I can thank you, Mr. Finch.
Yes, there you go.
Yes.
So that was your support system, and we need that. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't need anybody, and da-da-da-da. You do. You really do. So your motivation, it came when you were younger. You were 5, 6 years old and was drawing that self-portrait. I know there's something else you drew also. And then there's, so your eye for invest and giving back. You have shows coming up.
Yes.
You have things where they need to reach you. I want you to look into your camera and just say the events that you have going on.
Okay. Currently, I just put up a show yesterday at the Montclair Place. It used to be called the Montclair Plaza.
For yesterday, since this is going to air later, it was February 1st. Right?
February 1.
Yes.
Correct.
So what's going to, come up in the future, like March or anything?
As of right now, I don't have any shows scheduled in March as far as art shows, but I will be doing my painting and sip parties.
Okay. Tell me about how they reach you.
So if you are into doing the painting and sip, which seems to be just a national craze right now, I can be reached at area code 909-455-8659. And I am a mobile paint and sip unit. I come out, I bring everything that you need to do a work of art, to paint a painting. The canvas, the paint.
I love those.
Everything. And so within 2.5 hours, you and your guests can go home with a work of art that you can frame and hang on your wall.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love those. I know I went to a birthday party, And that's what she wanted for her birthday party. And she had it at this really nice restaurant that had a room. And I think she included like two glasses of wine, which helped you with your art. Oh my goodness. My paint came out. They didn't even know what it was. I said, it's a shoe. Oh, it's a, if I look, yes. The wine helped me with that abstract shoe. But it was really like very therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, art is.
I love that.
Yes,
You
yes.
start out with this blank canvas and you'd go step by step
Step
with
by
the
step.
teacher. And really, the piece of art is at home. I have one now that's a tree. You could tell the tree. But the shoe, people have to look at it like this and see if it's a shoe. I posted online. It's like, what is that? But yeah, so great. And so is there any place, do you teach anywhere right now or?
Yes, I currently teach at 3 different locations.
Uh-huh.
I teach special need individuals on Monday and Tuesday mornings, 1 hour each session.
Where is that?
It's in downtown Pomona.
Okay.
It was called the Daw Center of the Arts.
Okay.
I teach at Foothill Country Day School, a private school in Claremont. Right now we're working on a custom-made ceramic tile mural.
Whoa.
That's 16 feet, 9 inches wide, about 10 feet tall.
And where is that going to be?
It's going to be placed on their gymnasium wall outdoors. And it features Nobel laureates from around the world. Yes. And if anyone is interested and would like to see some of it, I have a Facebook page. It's Gary Lett. Also, I have a Instagram, and you can reach me under the Let's Do Art.
L-E-T-T.
Lettsdoart.
Okay, got it. Let's Do Art.
Let's Do
and
Art.
That's your Instagram?
That's my Instagram.
Okay,
and
great.
you can see samples of my work.
Yeah, and then the third location you teach is?
Is at the American Museum of the Ceramic Arts.
Oh,
where
wow.
I teach advanced hand building and sculpture.
Now, I know I went to one of your art shows, fabulous, and hands seem to be your signature.
Well,
how is that?
in 2012, I had a major art show, and the title of it was Nailed Scarred Hands, and they represent the scarred hands of Jesus Christ. It took me over 2.5 years to make 12 individual sculptures, but more than that, because each set had 2 hands, so I probably produced over 24 pieces for that series, and so that's where you saw all the hands.
And you see, look at my logo.
I know it. I love it. I love it.
That's my logo,
Right.
the hands. And that's in, I think I was in a first grade or kindergarten class, and I said, you know, you have a smile, each one of you have a smile in your hand, and boom, and that became my logo. That's actually
Yeah,
my
that's
hand
beautiful.
over here with
Yes,
the watch,
yes.
with the kids reaching in. And it's funny, when you turn it inside out, they all look like the same race, but there's African American,
Yeah.
there's a white, there's Latino, Armenian, but they're, when you turn your
Yes,
hand
that's
over, they
right.
all look like they're the same race.
Yes, yes.
But so I used that. At first I had a world, but somebody said that did a, what you call it, I can't tell what you do by that. And then that's when I took my little rock here.
Smile.
Yeah, smile.
Beautiful.
You know, they all have a smile this year. So when I
Yes.
saw your hands, I was like,
Yes.
oh, wow, that's what
Right.
I go by. So your love, I know, when I talk to you, you look like you're about 16 years old.
Oh, you are
When you're,
just too nice.
when you're
girl.
talking about your art, so I know. Thank you, Mrs. Lett. Where is me? Thank you, Ms. Lett. Thank you for being that inspiration. Because I know his art blossomed once he got to you. See, you got to take credit. You get those royalties. Okay, now your education.
Yes.
You did say you got a scholarship
To Pepperdine.
Pepperdine.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. I must admit, although I hate to admit this, I did not finish. Yeah, did not finish. I was,
Spank
I
you.
know it.
No.
I was academically unprepared for college. Yeah. I gave so much into my art that the other subjects did not interest me. They didn't interest me until I became an adult and started making art based on historical events. That I began.
You could get a degree. You could go now and whiz through art history.
Oh, yeah, I began to just love history. And when you put these different humanities together, when you can couple actual historical events, historical people, and you put the visual arts with that, not only does it help to retain the information, but now you can have this beautiful visual representation of history. And so this is why they need to keep art in school.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Say that again.
Yeah,
Say that in your camp.
Keep art
arts
in school. Yes.
That's it.
Because I tell people, look around wherever you are, just look around. Everything here took a creative thought.
Look at my mud cloth.
Everything.
Look at this. I mean, even this.
Yes.
You know, the kente cloth. This is that original kente cloth from Ghana. It is just so important. And the reason why I'm passionate, and I have a lot of artists on my show, and visual and singing, because my children, all of them. Well, my two youngest came out of the womb, I think, with a Crayola. I think, and I made their room into this dry erase board and the curtains. I let them walk on the thing, and they have been drawing. I call artists God's photographers. They just kind of take what's in there, snapshot on paper there, and my son Onan, Shahar now, they would go and they thought he would be taking tests. He would do artwork on this paper. None of the front of it was done. So I can relate to that.
You can relate, yeah.
I can relate to that. That's why I say you need to teach to the gift.
Yes.
Find out that gift and what interests them. And then that testing would be great. Now he's going back to school because he's ready. He's 33 now. But then they weren't teaching to the art. Reading, writing, arithmetic. That's it,
Right, exactly. And so,
just like you.
Yeah, no. And I, like I said, I regret that I did not finish Pepperdine, but I did receive a social arts degree elsewhere. And so, but that experience was great, just going there. And but let me ask you this question: do you still have that sculpture?
Yes.
Of mine.
You know what? I should have brought that.
Yeah.
I still have that. The hands.
Yeah, I should say this. One of the sculptures that I wanted for this art show, a portion of it blew up. And she saw it and she said, "Gary, I love that." And I just said, "Here." Yeah. It was a hand with
do you need, you don't need it, right?
I don't need it.
Okay.
You're good.
Darn it. You know what? I have that, and you know what? You know what? I'm going to incorporate that when I do, when the show comes out.
Okay.
I'm going to take a
You
picture.
edit that in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Darn it.
It's okay.
I do remember that.
It's all right.
I do remember
It's all
that. And so now you have, you mentioned your beautiful wife. I love her. Your son, you have
two men.
Two men now.
Yeah, 2 men and 7 grandchildren.
7
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Woo.
And then we have a foster son, Jared. Looked just like he could be mine. And so.
So what do the sons do? Are they artists?
Yes.
Really?
Well, the eldest, he can draw, but he's a musician.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, he needs to come on the show too.
And then
my kid's dad was a musician.
Yeah.
So
then the youngest
the music
son,
and the art.
He's a visual artist, and he raps, he does, but I tell him, "You're better than me." Yes. He has a creative bent, spin on his work that is out of this world.
Oh, he needs to come on too. Do you know Bernard Hoyce?
I've heard the name.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. He's really, you and him, you remind me of each other. Bernard Hoyce, you need to look that up.
Okay.
Mrs. Lett, look it up on your smartphone right now. Your smartphone, look it up. Bernard Hoyce, Hoyes. Hook them up. Lett and Hoyce. So I want you, from either the mistakes you made or things you've done, like you said, you're sorry you didn't finish college. You wish they would have focused on your gift or whatever. I want you to look into your camera before we run out of time. to give your words of wisdom. Anything that we miss out, we got your support, your motivation, how you give back, and teaching the love of not only your wife, but your gift, your education. Now, I want you to share that smile, speak into your camera, and tell whoever you're directing it to.
Well, it's something how you opened up with the phrasing of the word purpose. And I believe that we all are born with purpose. And there's a Swahili word that's used in Kwanzaa called Nia.
Nia.
N-I-A. And I've taken that word and I've made my own acronym. And that acronym to Nia is Natural Inner Ability. Yes. We all have been given a natural inner ability by our Creator so we can self-sustain. He didn't put us here whereby we just had to live off of other people.
Tell it.
But He made us individual creatures, but collectively we can do things. So to the parents, I would say, look at your young child and see what they do early on. Just like the Smile Lady said, before they're 5 or 6 years old, they are showing the ability that they have. But we as parents, it is our responsibility to help pull that out, nurture it, make them available with opportunities whereby their natural inabilities can grow. Let me just say this in closing. In Ontario on Thursdays, there's a school that promotes visual and performing arts. And so they have free jazz, and artists from around the city come with their instruments. And there was a 2-year-old baby, barely standing, but she was clapping to the music, patting her feet to the music. And I told the father, I said, man, she loves music. And he said, yes, every time she hears music, she just goes, wow. So I'm thinking the next 12 years, we may see this lady on TV dancing or singing or something, but she had already seemed to show a natural inner ability. And that would seem like to be her love for music. So let's key in on that. Nia, purpose, natural inner ability.
Yes, and mine is, if you're not working your purpose, what is your purpose? You know, are you just taking up space on this earth? You need to work your purpose. Let, L-E-T-T, your heart shine out. Art is from the heart, and that really, really is it. So tap into your child's purpose. Maybe you don't even know what your purpose is. Maybe you don't know what you love to do. But think back, if you can, 5, 6, 7 years old, and when you're doing it, you feel so free. You feel, you know when you get in that niche. So with that, I'm getting ready to touch, let your heart guide you. Work in your purpose. Nia. Give me that Nia again.
Natural inner ability.
Natural inner ability. Let's do it together.
Natural inner ability.
Yes, work your purpose. You are just amazing.
Thank you.
You got to host a show. I definitely want you.